Hey everybody, this is Larry up in Brandon, Minnesota. Well, it was about 25 below here last night. Whoo! Geez, I wish I was down south where some of you people are, or out west where it's warmer. I could be thinking more about planting. Well, I have been thinking about planting. I got to tell you about something. Last year I did a video called the Kiddie Pool Sub-Irrigated Planter. Crazy idea? Well, maybe not. Well, last year what I did is I took a kiddie pool. You can see here those hard plastic kiddie pools, and they had them on sale I think for like $6 here out at Menards. Well, I had a whole bunch of extra tomato plants left over that I didn't have in the rain gutter grow system, and I thought I'm going to try something because I got tired of going around watering each one of them. And I thought, well, you know, if you put them in and I use these Walmart shopping bags you get. They're 50 cents at most places. They're made out of recycled polypropylene. And what I did find out from using them last year is they held up great all year long for me. I don't know if they put some kind of UV resistant stuff, but I had other similar type bags from different companies. They all totally disintegrated. My Walmart bags did not, though. Anyway, what I did is I thought, well, geez, I wonder if I just put a little bit of water in one of these little kiddie pools and planted my tomato plants, and I did some blackberry. I had a blackberry plant that was almost dead. Put it in there. It went absolutely wild. And my tomato plants went wild because it worked like the rain gutter system, sub-irrigated, with just allowing a small amount. And I only put about an inch of water in the bottom of this kiddie pool, and it would keep the the plants, the bags full of the tomato plants and stuff, watered, and it worked great. Of course, I was just playing around. I hadn't thought much about it. I thought, well, I'm just going to try this. I'd get heavy rain. Of course, I'd get 3 or 4 inches of water in there. I'd go out and siphon it out because I didn't want to drill any holes or do anything right away because I didn't know exactly. I wanted to see how well it was going to work. Well, it did work fantastic. And this year I'm going to propagate some blackberries and try some different things where I want to take a whole bunch of cuttings and propagate them. And I thought this would be an excellent way, not only for tomatoes and stuff, or somebody that just wants to put up, I mean, we're talking instant garden. Take a little kiddie pool, plant some stuff in Walmart bags, put them in there and hook it up. Now, if you want, there's a couple different ways I've been thinking about how you could do this. One is you could take and just, if you wanted to make this where you could just drain it, you could make a little hole in the ground where you're going to center this, and you could use a little bolt plug, the boat, and you could drill a little hole where that just fit and put a half an inch of water in, or an inch. And what I would do is drill a little hole in the side of this little plastic kiddie pool for an overflow. So if you get heavy rain or something, it's just going to run out, okay? Then, if you're worried about mosquitoes or anything like that, I put a link on here for all this stuff below, for all the connections, the flows to the whole, for this, everything I'm going to explain here. If you're worried about mosquitoes, there's a couple different ways you can do that. About the standing water, I didn't have any problem, but just in case you would think you might. You can get these Mosquito Dunks. They're totally organic. They're safe for pets. They're safe for fish, anything. And you could put them. They last 3 months. I mean, that's fantastic. And you can break off just a tiny little piece and use for these kiddie pools. That's one option. Another option is you could fill this with water up to that overflow that you're going to put on the side, and once a week, to break the cycle for any mosquito, just pull the plug out, either mount a plug on the side to drain it, or you could make a little hole before you plant it, put this kiddie pool down, made it level, and mount one right in the bottom, and pull it out and let that water drain out, and let it set the afternoon. Now, if there's any mosquito larvae or anything, that's going to kill that, and then you fill it back up. If you want to make this whole thing automatic, which I'm going to do, I'm going to try doing this, I'm going to put a hole in the side for an overflow, and then I'm also going to put a float in. And now you can either, if I'm going to hook up just one, you can hook up this float. Now this float is a standard half-inch male threads, and then you got an adapter. Here's a little adapter you can screw right on that and hook your garden hose up to it. You can mount this float up a couple inches up on the side of this kiddie pool and make this thing automatic. It can maintain your water level just below that 1-inch overflow on the side of your kiddie pool. Now you've got a fully automatic grow system. I think it's really slick. I'm going to have or you could use this little barb fitting one, and I've got all the links below. Just click on the show more button below this video and you'll see all the links. You could use this barb fitting and you could hook multiple ones of these together. You just hook on that little barb fitting and go out to the little plastic tee. You can get them in any Ace Hardware, and then on to the next one, and get an adapter to go to a garden hose and hook them all up. But I'm going to have some fun playing around with this. Like I said, you can see here's this blackberry plant. Unbelievable. It was about half dead. I put it in, and this I made out of landscape fabric, and I'm going to do a video here real soon on how to make these. I took landscape fabric, which is made out of plastic. It's a UV, and I folded it over and I sealed it in my little, like if you got a Food Saver, that seal bar. Well, I've got a little more commercial one, but it has a nice seal, and I sealed it, and then I took a zip tie and zip tied the bottom of it, bunched it up at the bottom, and then cut that up and turned everything inside out and made a nice little grow bag. And these work fantastic. Matter of fact, I did a couple of them. I did the one in for that, and then I did some in for tomatoes. And I put some tomatoes in. And this I just did a single little tub just to see how this was going to work. I think the whole idea is just to maintain enough water so that it can hydrate up, and you get that capillary action. You got to use potting mix for this, though. Can't use this regular dirt. You got to use potting mix, and you can just buy a bag of like Miracle Grow potting mix, or you can make your own. If you just check my channel and type in inexpensive potting mix, search it, you'll see a recipe for doing that, how to do it. But it has to have peat or coconut coir. It has to have something so that capillary action will work. But the thing is just maintaining a small amount of water available to the plant so when it needs it. And to make it automatic, of course, to float, you can do it. But just some ideas I want to throw around with you, and I'll do more as I, get out of this frozen north and get a little warmer this spring. I'm going to hook these up and I'm going to make them automatic, because I did have fantastic results. The whole idea is the whole bag. And if you've ever heard much about grow bags, the roots just self-air prune, and they don't wrap around like they would in a container. And I thought I got phenomenal results. Microscopic little roots all over the place, and they just utilize every ounce of nutrition in there. I know a lot of commercial growers use grow bags anymore on a lot of their trees and everything because of that reason. Anyway, something to think about. Kick around. If you just want to do one, get some Walmart bags, put some commercial potting mix in there, and put some tomatoes or whatever, and put them in there, and just play around with this. You can have some fun. If you got any questions, just go ahead and either message me or just put some comments in the bottom. But I just wanted to kick this by you. Okay, this is Larry up in Brainerd, the Frozen North. Talk to you later. Ciao.